Hi, Mr. Wright here, and welcome to this film in which I'll walk you through 15 IGCSE questions on ratio. You can download the questions by hitting the link in the description, and then I would have a go at the questions before you watch me work my own way through them. Alternatively, of course, you can print out the questions and watch the film as you work through them and work alongside me, whatever works best for you. If you're about to sit your Edexcel IGCSE exams or you're preparing for those, why not subscribe to the channel? There's a lot more on there to help you. And if you feel like spreading the word, do share this film and do tell others about the channel. And of course, if you've got any questions or there's anything you'd like to say or to feedback to me, please do leave a comment and of course I'll respond. Right, let's get on with the maths. Question 1. Right, we've got a currency conversion shop and we have somebody who changed a total of 20,160 Rand into a number of different currencies. He changed 3/10 of the Rand into euros, and then the rest of the Rands he changed into dollars, rupees, and francs in the ratio 9:5:2. Dollars, rupees, and francs. He ended up with more rupees than francs. Work out how many more. Okay. Well, first of all, let's work out how much of the money he changed into euros. So he changed 3/10 of his 20160 Rand into euros. So that's 0.3 times 20160. So that's 6,048 of the Rands gone into euros. So how many Rands are left then for the rest? So the rest of the Rand is 20160 minus 6048. So he's got 14,112 Rand left. Now what does he do with that? Well, he puts into dollars, into rupees, and into francs in the ratio 9:5:2. Let's work out that ratio total. The ratio total is 9 plus 5 plus 2 is 16. So if you were exchanging a total of 16 Rand, he'd end up with $9, 5 rupees, and 2 francs. But he's not changing a total of 16 Rand. He's changing a total of 14,112 Rand. So if I divide that by 16, I see that I'm multiplying here by 882. So that means that at the end of the day, he'll end up with 882 times $9, 882 times 5 rupees, and 882 times 2 francs. Now, it says here he ended up with more rupees than francs. How many more? So I just need to know how many rupees he got and how many francs he got. Well, 882 times 5 is 4,410 rupees, and 882 times 2 is 1,764 francs. So how many more rupees than francs? 4,410 minus 1,764 gives me an answer of 2,646. Okay, let's have a look at question 2. Question 2. Last season, the number of goals scored by A, S, and K for their football team were in the ratio 2:5:8. Let's work out the total, because I always do, just in case you need it. 15. Simon scored 12 more goals than Arjun. Work out the number of goals scored by Kath. Okay. Well, if I have a look at this, I can see that if we were dealing with just 15 goals in total, then Simon has scored 3 more than Arjun. Simon may well have scored 3 more than Arjun, but it would help if I did it in the right place. Simon has scored 3 more than Arjun. Now I need Simon to have scored 12 more than Arjun. So I'm going to multiply all these ratios by 4. And then I'll have 60 goals in total. 4 8s are 32, 4 5s are 20, and 4 2s are 8. And now the difference between Simon and Arjun's goals is 12. Look, 4 times the 3, right? So when it says Simon scored 12 more goals than Arjun, I now know that Arjun scored 8, Simon scored 20, and Kath scored 32. So I can simply now write down the number of goals scored by Kath, 32. And that's question 2 done. Let's have a look at question 3. D, G, and H. D, G, and H share some money in the ratio 3 to 5 to 9. Let's total that up. 14, 17. The difference between the amount of money that Gabriel receives and the amount of money that Hadley receives. That's 4 here, isn't it? Oh, it's actually 196 euros, not 4 euros. So if I do 196 divided by 4, I see that I have to multiply each of these black numbers by 49 to make sure that the ratio, the difference between G and H isn't 4, it's 49 times as much, 196. So I'm going to do 3 times 49, gives me 147 for D, 5 times 49, 245 for G, 9 times 49, 441 for H, and in total 17 times 49, 833. So in fact, they're going to share out this many euros. That means that the difference between G and H is 196, but importantly, it means that Daniel receives 147. Let's look at question 4. Work out the difference between the largest share and the smallest share when 3,450 yen is divided in that ratio. So we've got 2 to 6 to 7. Now, what's the total there? 13, 15. So if we were splitting 15 yen up, somebody would get 2, somebody would get 6, and somebody would get 7. Now, we're not splitting 15 yen up, are we? We're splitting up or sharing 3450. So how many times 15 are we sharing? 3450 divided by 15. So we're sharing 230 times as much. So each of these numbers will be multiplied by 230, right? So 2 times 230, 460. 6 times 230, 1380. 7 times 230, 1610. Now what's the question? Work out the difference between the largest and the smallest share. Well, that's simply going to be the largest share subtract the smallest share. The difference is 1,150 yen. Question 5. There are 30 counters in a bag. Oh, sorry, no, there aren't. There are 90 counters in a bag. Each counter in the bag is either red or blue. Okay, so that the number of red to the number of blue is 2 to 13. By the way, that's a total of 15, isn't it? Oh, and there are 90 counters in the bag, right? So in green, I've got my ratios, and in red, I'll actually do the bag. Look, so a total of 90 in the bag. So I've written the 90 under the 15, and before I read anything else, I can do 90 divided by 15. So I'm going to multiply each of my ratios by 6, aren't I? So 6 times 2 is 12. There must be 12 red. And 6 times 13, there must be 78 blue. Okay. So I've finished with that, finished with that. Lee is going to put some more red counters in the bag. so that the probability of taking at random a red counter is a third. Work out the number of counters that Lee's going to put in the bag. Right, well, at the moment, the probability of choosing a red counter is 12 out of 90. Right? Let's say that she puts X red counters in the bag. Well, in that case, the probability of choosing a red counter if she's added X red counters, well, there won't be 12 red counters anymore. There'll be 12 plus X counters. And there won't be 90 counters in the bag now. There'll be 90 plus X. So that's the probability that we want to equal 1/3. So that's the equation we've got to solve. Right, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Gives me 36 plus 3x on the left and 1 on the right. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 90 plus x. So this is the equation which I'm going to solve. I have to say, I think this is a really tricky question, because to get that equation is pretty tricky, if you ask me. But the answer is that she's going to add 27 counters, 27 red counters. But I think that that is a tremendously tricky question for a question number 3 on a paper. Question 6. A, I, and P share some money in the ratio 3 to 2 to 5. Let's work out the total. 10. The total amount of money that Isla and Paolo receive. Oh, well, let's do in I and Paolo, shall we? I and Paolo, they receive 7, don't they? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that total column over here. Try again. Move that total column over there, and I'm going to have a column for I plus P. Well, I plus P is 7, right? So the amount of money that I plus P get is £76 more than the money that A gets. Well, at the moment, it's only 4 times as much, right? Sorry, it's only 4 more. And we want it to be 76 more. Well, 76 divided by 4 is 19, so we're going to have to multiply each of these ratios by 19. So 3 times 19, so A must be 57, 2 times 19, that must be 58. 5 times 19 is 95, and 7 times 19 is 133, and 10 times 19 is 190. Okay. So now we can see that Andreas gets £57. Andreas buys a video game for £48.50. Work out how much money he has left once he's bought the video game. So it's 57 times £48.50. 57, sorry, not times, minus £48.50 gives you £8.50 left. There we are, £8.50. Question 7. On a farm, there are chickens, ducks, and pigs. Chicken, duck, pig. The ratio of the number of chickens to the number of ducks is 7 to 2. The ratio of the number of ducks to the number of pigs is 5 to 9. There are 36 pigs on the farm. Ah, well. There are 36 pigs on the farm. Work out the number of chickens on the farm. Well, let's start off with the fact that we know there are 36 pigs. So that 9 has been multiplied by 4, hasn't it? So I better do the same to the 5. So 5 fours are 20. Right, so there are 20 ducks on the farm. Okay, there are 20 ducks on the farm. Now, the ratio of chickens to ducks is 7 to 2. So I know there are 20 ducks. So I know that 2 has been times by 10. So I better do the same to the 7. 7 times 10. There are 70 chickens on the farm. Question 8. Avril bakes a cake. She uses flour, butter and sugar, such that the weight of the flour and the weight of the butter 6 to 5. The weight of the butter and the weight of the sugar 3 to 2. She uses 120 grams of sugar, right? 120 of sugar, so that's been times by 60. So 3 60s, 180. So she uses 180 grams of butter. So this 5 has been multiplied by what to get 180? Well, 180 divided by 5 is 36. So the amount of flour she uses is 6 times 36. 216. Question 9. C grams of chocolate is shared in that ratio. Okay. We have C grams of chocolate is shared in the ratio. Let's have a look at the ratio. 2 to 5 to 8, which has a total of 15. So this person gets 2/15 of all the chocolate. This person gets 5/15 of all the chocolate. And this person gets 8/15 of all the chocolate. Okay, so if there's C grams of chocolate, then the largest share is 8/15 times C, and the smallest share is 2/15 times C. And we know that the difference between the largest and the smallest, so the difference between that, that's 6/15 of C, isn't it? That's the difference, 6/15 of C. And we know that that difference is 390. So here's an equation to solve. Multiply both sides by 15. 390 times 15 tells me that 6C is 5850. Divide both sides by 6. And C is 975. Question 10. In a box, there are only green sweets, orange sweets, and yellow sweets. There are 280 sweets in the box. The number of green to the number of orange is 2 to 3. And the number of orange to yellow is 1 to 5. I think I'm just going to combine these ratios. Look, if the number of orange to yellow is 1 to 5, then that's the same as 3 to 15. So I might as well say 2 to 3 to 15. So 2 to 3 to 15. That's the ratio of G to O to Y. Now, what's the total of those ratios? 20. So if there were 20 sweets in the box, there'd be 15 yellow, 3 orange, and 2 green. But there aren't 20, there are 280. So I'm going to multiply each of my ratios by 14. So 28, 42, and 15 times 14, 210. Now what's the question? Work out how many green sweets there are in the box. 28 green sweets. Okay, number 11. 120 children go on an activity holiday. The ratio of girls to boys is 3 to 5. Girls to boys, 3 to 5 makes a total of 8, but I've got 120 children. So that's times by 15, so there must be 45 girls, and 5 times 15, 75 boys. On Sunday, all the children go either sailing or climbing. Okay. So, 16, 20, right, so wait a minute, sailing and climbing. Right, we know we've got 45 girls and 75 boys, right? So let's do the 45 girls first. Now what does it say about the girls? Twice as many girls go sailing as go climbing. 45 girls and twice as many go sailing as they do go climbing. So that's 2 to 1, isn't it? So I'm going to have to split the number of girls into 3. So we'll have a third of them going climbing and the rest of them going sailing. Okay, twice as many girls go sailing as go climbing. Done that bit. Right, now let's do the boys. How many boys were there? 75 boys. 16 25ths go climbing. Right, sailing, climbing. So I've got to do 16 over 25 times by 75. And that tells me how many go climbing. 48 go climbing. So 75 minus 48, 27 go sailing. Right, now what's the question? Work out how many children go sailing. Well, it's going to be 30 of the girls and 27 of the boys. 57 children go sailing. Number 12. Nancy has some coins with a total value of 85 pence. She only has 2 pence coins and 5 pence coins. The ratio, the number of 2 pence coins, 2 pence to 5 pence, is 1 to 3. Okay? Nancy has more 5 pence coins than 2 pence coins. How many more? Right, well, in red there, that's the number of the coins she has. So the value of those coins, let's do that in black. She has 2 pence in 2 pence coins for every 15 pence she has in 5 pence coins, because she has 3 5 pence coins. So this black writing is about the value of the coins. 2 pence to 15. 2 pence in 2p coins for every 15 pence she has in 5p coins. That's a total of 17 pence, right? And she has a total of 85. Aha, 17 to 85. Right, 85 divided by 17 times by 5. So 10 to 75. So she's going to have 10 pence worth of 2p's and 75 pence worth of 5p's. Right, so if she has 10 pence worth of 2 penny pieces, she's got 5 of those, just divide by 2, and 75p of 5p pieces, well, that means she's got 15 of those. Nancy has more 5 pence coins than 2 pence coins. How many more? 10 more. Because she's got 15 5p coins and 5 2p coins. I think that's quite tricky, going from the number of coins to their value. Right, question 13. Mariana sells bags of bird food. The bags that Mariana sold last week each contained 12 kilograms of seeds. The bags she's going to sell next week will each contain a mixture of nuts and seeds, where for each bag, the weight of the nuts to the weight of the seeds is 4 to 5. The total weight of the nuts and seeds in each bag will be that. Okay, wait a minute, now we're in business. So we've got nuts to seeds in the ratio 4 to 5, which is a total of 9. But her total isn't 9 kilograms, it's 9.35 kilograms. So let's do 9 divided by, let's do 19.35 divided by 9. Okay, so we're multiplying by 43 over 20. So if I multiply that by 4, then that tells me that I've got 43 fifths of nuts. And if I do 43 over 20 times 5, then I get 43 over 4 for the weight of my seeds. Okay. Right, so in each of her bags, which each weigh that much, she has got, let's do 43 divided by 5 as a decimal, 8.6 grams of nuts, and 43 divided by 4 as a decimal, 10.75 grams of seeds, to give her a total of 9.35 kilograms in the whole bag. The weight of seeds in each bag that Mariana sells each week, or the weight of seeds in each bag that she's going to sell next week, is 10.75. And it used to be 12, look. So, work out the decrease as a percentage. Okay, well, it was 12. and now it's 10.75. So it's decreased by 1.25 kilograms. So the percentage decrease is 1.25 over 12 times by 100. So the decrease as a percentage is 10.416, but it says give your answer correct to one decimal place, 10.4%. Again, I think that's quite tricky. Okay, it was question 6, but I think that's quite a tricky 4 marks there. Right, question 14, and then question 15, and then we're there. Question 14, right, we're making 300 celebration cards. So that birthday to anniversary to congratulations is 7 to 5 to 3. That gives me a total of 15. 2/5 of the birthday cards have numbers on them. Okay. 36% of the anniversary cards have numbers on them. None of the congratulations cards have numbers on them. Oh, look, work out the fraction of the 300 cards. So now we know how many cards they're making. They're making 300 cards. So each of my ratios are times by 20. 140 birthday cards, 100 anniversary cards, 60 congratulations cards. Now we can work things out because the birthday cards, 2/5 have numbers, right? So numbers and no numbers. 2/5 have numbers, so 2/5 of 140. 56 have numbers, and the rest don't. Now, 36% of the anniversary cards have numbers. Well, there are 100 anniversary cards, so 36% of 100 is just 36. None of the congratulations cards have numbers. Work out what fraction of the cards have numbers. Well, 56 and 36, those are the ones which have numbers. So that's 92 cards have numbers. But what fraction of 300? 92 out of 300. That's a fraction, isn't it? If I do 92 divided by 300 on my calculator, it cancels it down to me to tell me that 23/75 of the cards have numbers on them. Okay, last question. Question 15. The number of people working for a company in Team A or Team B. Team A to Team B. Team A to Team B. 3 to 4. Total is 7. 4/5 of Team A work full-time. 24% of Team B work full-time. Work out what fraction of the people working for the company work full-time. Give your answer in its simplest form. Now, it doesn't tell us how many people are working for the company. Okay? It's a bit annoying. You could make it easy for yourself. And you could just say, I know, let's have 700 people working in the company. And then we'll have 300 people in Team A, 400 people in Team B. And then we can easily work out these fractions and percentages because we've got some nice easy numbers. So 4/5 of Team A work full-time. So how many is that? 4/5 of 300, 0.8 times 300. 240 of them. 24% of Team B, so you want 0.24, 24% of 400. 96 of those. So altogether, how many people have I got working full-time? 96 plus 240. 336 people. So you might say, yeah, but you've assumed it's 700 people in total. So, you're just making it up. Well, I'm not actually, because it says work out what fraction of people work full-time. So the fraction of people will be 336 out of 700. And now I can cancel that down to give me 12/25. So the fact of the matter is it doesn't matter how many people work for the company. 12/25 of them will work full-time. And that is those 15 ratio questions finished. Well done for making your way through those 15 questions. I hope you found the film useful. If you do, please hit like. Please leave me a comment telling me so. And of course, if you're preparing for your Edexcel IGCSE Maths, you do well to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next film.